Alright, welcome to Career Build Series Part 21. We're going to start getting into some resource trading here. And so we're going to do some testing, we're going to do some building in this episode. So essentially resource trading is, you might not see it in this yet. So it takes a little while for these to update, but if you look at these little gas pumps, a green gas pump means you can sell something. So I can sell oil for $2.86. It's going to take a second. You'll see more of them pop up. They have the places where you can buy have variable prices, so it actually takes you a minute to get them to pop up when you start a fresh world. But as you can see, all these greens are sell points. So you're able to sell things like diesel, you're able to sell jet fuel, and you're able to sell oil. And that gives you the ability to buy goods low and sell them high and make profits. So if we look at this one here, we could buy jet fuel for $3.72. So we're still waiting on an update. So once we have a little bit of time in the world, we'll start getting more of these black. There it is. Okay, they just updated. See them right here? We just had one pop up. Another one will pop up here for jet fuel. So we can we can buy diesel here for 35 cents. And we could come over here and we could sell diesel for $1.30. So we can, what's that? 4 times our money, more than that, a little bit over 4 times our money. So if we bought 1,000 of diesel here, we would sell it here. We would get 4,000, making us 3,000 in profit. Here's oil. So we could buy it at the oil gantry for 76 cents, and we're able to come up here and sell the oil for $2.86. So this is resource trading. You can do it with coal. And so one of the things with this, we have to buy the resources ourselves. So we need to make sure we have enough money to buy them. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a modular system here. So we're going to try to stick with our boat. So we're going to stick with our build series boat. And we're going to start working on a barge. And we're going to actually do some testing. I don't know myself if this is going to work. So in real life, a lot of modular systems are used where you do something like you pull a barge with a tugboat, and that allows you to do multiple different jobs with that boat. So I'm going to test it and see if we can pull this barge full of fuel with our boat to see if this is a viable way to do resource trading. So I'm going to do a really quick and dirty system here to make this work so that we can test it to see if this works. All right, so we have our barge. It's completely empty in here. So all I'm going to do is, again, this is just a test. I'm going to put in a spawner. Okay. And so when I put this down, let me put on symmetry just so I know where the center point is. Okay. So this is going to automatically default to diesel. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a meter. All right. So this is a fluid meter. All right. And so this fluid meter is going to read us out, and I'm going to put a dial. Okay. And I'm going to see how much fluid, how much diesel I can cram in here. So I'm just going to read the fluid level, and we're going to go ahead and spawn this and see if this floats. It probably won't because it's going to be 100% full of fluid. Okay, that's fine. I knew that was going to happen the second I hit the button because I took up its entire buoyant volume with fluid. So let's not do that. Let's go here. We'll return it. Okay, so let's do this. Let's delete out the let's delete the spawner and the meter. All right, so what we want to do is we want to find the center of gravity. All right, and I'm going to, so it's right about here. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to delete, we'll leave about, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. We'll go like this. We're just going to make a very simple box. Okay, we want that to be about centered, the center of gravity. Okay, and really simply what we're going to do is we're going to see how much fluid we can put in this barge before it doesn't want to float anymore. And so what this is doing is I'm making a box here, all right, and that's going to allow me to still have a buoyant volume around it, so that should help us float. And then we're going to see how much fluid I can cram in here. So let's go. It might still be too much, but we'll go 3 high, and then we'll fill this in, and we'll make a box, and we'll put some diesel in there, and we'll see if it floats. actually had an idea of how I want to keep this a nice modular space. Okay, so we have a little tank here. We're going to put a spawner back in. All right. Right there, and we're going to put a meter in. All right. And we're going to connect the meter, the fluid level up there. Let's spawn it. Let's see if it floats. All right, that is, let's see. Okay, it floats, but we have too much fluid in there. As you can see, it's kind of submerged. Let's go look at the meter. The meter is showing that's 46,000 liters of diesel. Okay, so that's probably too much anyways because we don't have the money for that. So actually, I kind of thought of a cool idea here. Let's do this. Let's try to. We're gonna reduce the volume of this. And what we'll do is we'll make this a versatile barge where we can either tow a container, where we can load a container on it, or we can fill it with diesel. So let's go like that. So we've reduced the volume. Let's spawn it. Let's see how this looks. So that's floating much better. So actually, I think this is going to be kind of a cool idea. What we'll do is we'll put some connectors, and we can either fill it with diesel, or we can put a container on there. So let's look. So that's 26,000 liters of diesel. This is floating nicely. Okay, good. So let's put this back in our bench. So I might want to try to get the center of gravity a little bit more centered, but that's not bad. So let's save this. Let's do build series. Build series 21 modular barge. All right, so the modular part is we're going to be able to load containers on this or fuel. So we can put fuel in the underbody tank, or we can put a container on top. So we'll work on that later too. So let's do save. All right, so let's go to our boat here, our career build series part 20 boat. Let's spawn it in. Okay, and let's jump on board. Let's get this out of the way. All right, so let's go here. So that barge will fit in our default, build area on our beginner island. All right. So we're gonna get that out of the way, and I'm gonna fly because we're in our test world. So this is one of the reasons I like doing this in the test worlds. It allows me to move around. Did I just recall it? Is the question. I think I did. I just recalled it. Okay. So let's do this here. Let's move this forwards, like that. Okay, let's spawn it. That's gonna edit the vehicle in the work zone. Okay, that's fine. I'll move it. Okay, I need to move it out of the work zone, or it's gonna recall it every time I try to do this. So I was gonna spawn them both at once, but I won't do that. I'll just move this out of the way. Okay, so let's try to get this out of the build area a little bit. Okay. Let me see. Still let me return to the workbench. Let's move it. Just move it a little bit. You know, this is a fast boat. We can always back up quickly. Alright. Still says return to workbench, but let me see if I think we're out of the zone so I can actually spawn something else here. Okay, so let's open up our test barge. Alright, so this has 26,000 liters of diesel in it. And we're going to try to connect this to our boat so that we can see if we can tow this. We can see how fast we can tow this. Alright, so these are all questions we need to answer here. Alright, so I can go third person with this. Alright, so actually this is something we need to fix. So I'm going to put this on my to-do list. So see how the boat's trying to roll? Alright, so we put a stability system in there. One of the things you have to do is when you're going in reverse, the stability system is gonna do everything in reverse. So it's gonna try to make your list worse, and it's gonna try to pick your stern up even more. So what you have to do is you have to use your linear speed sensor, and you have to put a condition in there that if your boat's going backwards in reverse, you need to swap the values of all your stability systems. So that's something we'll do. I'll put that on the to-do list as well. So this boat will still work fine in forwards. We just need to fix it. All right, so we're backing up to the. All right, so we're backing up to our barge here, and let's see. Let's hook it up. And for some reason, I don't have a rope. Okay. Let's grab one out of here. Okay, let's grab the rope and let's connect it here. All right. So let's see how well this does. So first thing we want to do, let's put in a heading hold of east. So we'll do a little more than east. So we'll do 100. I think it's 120 is the heading we're doing right now. So let's do 120. That's going to keep us going straight. Let's start winching out. Let's start going forwards on our thrust here. All right, so we want to see. Oh, it's steering me more than I want. Let's go 140. Okay. All right, so we're towing here. So we're actually towing pretty fast. This is pretty good. If we can tow this barge with 26,000 liters, we can use this as a we can use this as our power unit. So for those who don't know, I've tried doing this video like 3 times, so I may have explained this already. But a power unit is like an tractor trailer. The power unit is the truck part that pulls the trailer. And this is also happens with tugboats, is you can have, and towboats, you can have a power unit, which in this case is this boat. And then you can have, in this case, we have the barge, which is being pulled by that. And so this gives us a lot of versatility. This boat can do rescues. This boat can also tow barges. So like I was saying before, one of the reasons why I kind of over-engineered and overbuilt this boat is I don't want to have to keep swapping out and, oh, we can't do this job, let's do another boat. And also utilizing barges, we can do a lot of this stuff with the same boat. All right, so so our rope is at max length. All right, let's see how fast I can go towing this barge with 26,000 liters of diesel. All right, perfect. So that's 10 knots, or 9 knots, so that's pretty good. So we're able to tow this barge with 26,000 liters of diesel at 9 knots. So this is a good viable option to be able to do our work, as you can see. So we're able to tow this barge with fuel, and we'll also at some point we'll be able to put a container on there. Not at the same time, but we can put a container on there and do that. So this is a good option for us to be able to go do resource trading. So what we need to do is we need to put an ability to pump out to help empty that volume, and we'll be able to go do some missions. Now, this is going to take a lot of time to do some of these. Like, we could do a container mission. We could go from here to here. That's not bad, but we need to spawn we need to be able to spawn a container loader, which I built, but we haven't got into yet. So that's going to be a lot of money. So what we need to remember here is with our career save is we need to be able to buy the resource. So we need to say buy diesel, and we need to buy the boat. We need to buy the barge. So let's start working on our barge here, and we'll see. All right, we'll start working on our barge here, and we'll see what this is going to cost us. All right, so I'm going to paint it right now just to kind of spruce it up a little bit, and then we'll repaint. I'm going to do a very basic, simple paint job just so that we're so that it's not just no color on there. All right, and then we'll put a darker color in here on the facets. All right, and so this barge, like I said, we're going to make it so that we can fit a container on here as well. That's going to allow us to either use it for container transportation or resource trading. So again, this modularity allows us to not have to build, a powered tanker, a powered barge, which I do have a powered barge. But, it's going to allow us to utilize our same boat for a little while more. And then as we want to, we can start to get into different vehicles. All right. All right, so we're painted up here very basically. All right, so we'll delete that for now. We'll paint this without the bucket. All right, so let me change. So that's fine. That was all right where we had it. All right, so this barge works pretty well. It's going to be cheap right now. This barge costs us 83, and the reason it cost us 83, I think, is the fuel. Let me see if I delete the spawner what that price goes to. All right, no, it's 82. So just the cost of the barge, which isn't bad. So we don't want a spawner in there anyways. We want the ability to fill this. All right, so the other thing, let's put a container, some container hardware on here so we can do a container as well. So I like to use these pink blocks for measuring. So my center of gravity is about here. So let's just put it there. The standard container is 11 wide, so we'll go, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be 11. Yeah, no, was that 10 or 11? Okay, that's 11 wide, and then it's going to be 29 long. So what we need is 14. No, 13. Yeah, 29 is going to be 14 on either side. So that's 14. That's going to be 14. Let's measure it. 29 long. That works. Okay, so now this is the length of a container. And so what we can do is just go like this. And then this will allow us to put connectors here. And I'm just going to paint them a yellow color so that they're easy to see. Okay, and now this allows us to also put a container on here, and this will easily carry a container. I've tested that all out. All right, perfect. So the next thing we need to do is we want to put in a pump in and out system to pump. All right, so I'm trying to make, I think we'll make it visible so that you can actually see it. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So I'm trying to think how we're going to have this in the... All right, so we also, let's do this real quick before I forget. We're not going to be able to turn this, you know, that boat's not very, our rescue boat's not great for pushing because it has that sharp bow. You know, if I had a tugboat, we could push with it, but we want to tow it, so we'll put a rope on the other end. All right, let's start working on pumping here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to put a hole there. I'm trying to think where I want to put this. Yeah, so I think we'll put a pump out over here. Let's see. Yeah, let's put a pump out over here. We'll make it simple. You know, it's just a barge, so it's going to be kind of you know, it doesn't need to be pretty because it's just an industrial barge. So let's put a fluid port here. Do I have symmetry on? I do, which I don't want on. Let me shut symmetry off. We'll make it the starboard sides where the pump out is. We'll do it at the center of gravity just to kind of make it a little bit symmetrical. We'll do a fluid port here. So this is going to pump us out. All right, we want to pump, we have to power this. Yeah, we're going to have to power, we don't need to power it. You know, we won't help this at first. So the actual the pumps at the cell point, they function. So they'll do their own pumping. It'll be slow, but you know, I won't make you guys watch all that. So what we're gonna do here is I'm just gonna build a pipe out, and so this is gonna be what I'll do here is I'll actually just do this. We'll put it right on the ground. You know, we can change this later. All right. And then we'll make it yellow for fuel. Okay. All right, so good. So we have the ability to pump out of that tank, and we have the ability to fill the tank. So really simple. All right, so we want to get into that resource trading here. And so so we're good to go now. So we pretty much have a barge that can take a container and can fill a volume of 26,000 liters of diesel of fluid essentially. So it's going to be diesel, oil, whatever. So let's save this. Modular barge 21. Okay, good. So now what we want to do is we want to look at this and we want to see. Let's go back into the map. We don't have the right map. So, but let's look at. Yeah, we don't have the right map. So we'll go into our career and we'll kind of look at that. Let's fix this. So we'll also fix this. Remember I was saying that, you know, when we reversed, the boat was it was trying to roll us, and it was trying to pick the stern out of the water. And that's because when it's going forwards, the fins work in one direction, right, to keep us level and to keep us from rolling on the stability system. When we go in reverse, it's trying to do the opposite. So we need to reverse them when we are going backwards. So let's look at our stability system here. And I think we can go lengthwise. We can add a node here. The node will be a number input of linear speed. Speed. Okay. And so we have linear speed there. And what we're going to do is, so it's essentially going to be if linear speed is less than 0, we want to do some numerical switch boxes to essentially invert everything. So we want to invert both the pitch and the roll. So that's simple. We can take a couple of numeric switch boxes. All right, we'll make that the standard there. And we'll take these. And then what we'll do is we'll make a, we'll invert them here. So that would just be negative x's. And so this is going to invert the signal if we're going backwards. All right, so that'll prevent that from happening. So that should be a pretty simple fix. All right, and then this here is that's if less than 0. All right, so that's going to be if our speed is less than 0. We could also do it if the reverse gear is selected, but if the reverse gear is selected and we're still coasting forwards, it's going to try to do it. So it's better to do it with the linear speed. So let's update this. And then I have to test something. So there's some different settings on the linear speed. Absolute, there's directional, and there's horizontal. So let me look at this really quick. I want to make sure that I'm getting a negative number if we go backwards. So let's go linear speed to here. Let's power this directly to the battery. All right. We are in my test world, so I didn't need to really connect the electricity, but it's a good habit to get into anyways. Okay, so let's go go forwards. That should be going forwards. Okay, so that's showing a negative number going forwards. That's very interesting. Alright, what's up with this now? Alright, so see how it's doing that roll here, so you see what's up with this. Alright, so I'm going to move this in the cab so I don't have to keep running out to see it. Alright, so we're going to move this here in the cab. And we'll end the video after we finish fixing the stability system. Let me rotate. I always end up, I just need the number. I don't really need to have them vertical, but I'll make it vertical. Alright, so that's there. Logic we have powered. It's reading the, what is up with, where's my linear speed coming from? Oh, I hooked the altimeter up to it. Okay, that's why it's showing funny. So I hooked the altimeter up to it. Okay, so we need to hook linear speed up to it. All right, so we want to make sure we're getting a positive value if we're going forwards and a negative value if we're going in reverse. That's going to allow us to be able to tell the stability system, hey, work backwards if you're going backwards. All right, so we want to make sure we have positive number going forwards. We do. We want to check, make sure we have a negative number going backwards. Nope. Okay, so the reason it's doing that here is because this is set to absolute. We want it to set to directional. All right, setting directional should give us what we want here. All right, absolute's always going to give us a positive number. All right, so test forwards. All right, positive number. We'll go backwards, and this should now give us a negative number. All right, now we have a negative number. All right, perfect. So that's working. So let's delete our dial here. All right, and so now we have the linear speed sensor is going into our stabilizer. Theoretically, there it is now. Okay, so what's that? Stern, fin, starboard. Did I not have this connected up right? What is going on here? Oh, I moved something. Okay. Stern, fin, starboard there. All right. Let me make sure that this is working. When I change the size, I think it disconnected it. Okay, so now, so to go through what we did here, all we're doing is we're inverting the signals when we go in reverse. So when we get a linear speed that is less than 0, it's going to trigger these numerical switch boxes going to the inverted numbers for those. So let's see if this works now. So we should be able to go backwards and not have our stability system roll us, and it should not pick up the stern. So we'll go out here just a little bit out where we have some space to make sure it's behaving, and we'll actually travel backwards for a little bit and make sure that it's behaving itself. So as you can see, forwards is behaving itself. We get good, level deck. We're still bobbing a little bit, but we're not bad. We can still turn, and we have a nice flat deck angle. Let's hit 3 to 0 our thrust. All right, let's go in reverse. All right, now we shouldn't have the stern pick up too much. It still might do it just because of the hydrodynamics and storm arcs. It's actually perfect. It's staying down. And you notice we're not rolling. All right. And we can steer around. As you notice, the boat's perfectly stable in reverse now. All right, good. So that finishes that up. All right, so kind of go over again what we did. So we worked on our modular barge, which is going to be able to haul both fuel and containers. And we talked about resource trading in game. Fixed this boat, made the stability system work. So what we'll do in the next video is we'll actually go out there and we'll do some resource trading. Now, this is going to be long travel times. So what I think I'll do is I'll do the video and I'll cut it up. I don't know. I might cut it up or I might not. It'll be a super long video if I don't cut it up, but you guys can always fast forward if you want. So I'll try to. I haven't worked with chapters yet in YouTube, so I'll work with chapters. If you guys want to fast forward, you can be my guest and fast forward it. If you don't want to, you can watch the whole thing. So I'll leave it up to you guys instead of cutting it. And that way you guys can decide if you want to watch it or not. All right. Thank you for watching.